At Penguin Pest Control, we are committed to safety and environmental responsibility. Now this is me, the owner of Penguin Pest Control, fly fishing, biking, and snowmobiling. Like you, I love Colorado, and I want to ensure that my company never does anything to harm our ecosystem and our great outdoors. Also, probably like you, I don't like living with pests. Now, I have discovered that there is a way to responsibly maintain a pest-free home or business and not harm the ecosystem or put people or pets in danger. Now, in order to do this, let's analyze the products that are available for pest control and their efficacy. In order to understand how products work, you have to be familiar with a term. It's called persistence. Persistence is the length of time that a product will last or persist before it breaks down. The longer the persistence, the less often you need to apply it. However, the bad thing about persistence is that the longer the persistence, the greater the potential for harm or adverse, unforeseen, and unintended effects. For example, back in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, America used products that had extremely long levels of persistence. Some of the products used lasted or persisted up to 20 and 30 years after application. Chloridane and diazinon to name two. Now, such products did a really good job at controlling pests, but there was a huge amount of extremely negative effect both environmentally and to the health of people and non-target species. So as a society, we've decided that we are only going to allow products with a shorter persistence. Now, most products that you can buy over the counter have no persistence, meaning they are a contact kill. You have to spray the actual bug or pest because within a few minutes or a few hours, the product will dissipate and break down. The over-the-counter products that have a persistence usually go up to about 2 or 3 weeks. Now, as a commercial pest control operator, Penguin can, with its license, get and apply products that have longer persistence, most of which go up to about 2 or 3 months. Now, in order to get our license, we obviously had to go through and maintain training on safety protocols and when and how to safely apply such products. This new American system is much improved and is way better than those days back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Now, I need to explain one more thing. This is going to really help you understand what kind of pest control treatment is best for you. This graph shows the efficacy of a product over time, how it breaks down. Now remember, the products we use are designed to break down. We want them to. It's unsafe and environmentally irresponsible to use products that last forever. Now, as you can see here, when we first apply a product, its strength is 100%, and then it starts to break down. After 1 month, its strength is 80%. After 2 months, its strength has weakened to 50%, and by the end of month 3, its strength is less than 5%. Shortly thereafter, the product has broken down completely and is effectively no longer active in the environment, which is good for the environment and for the safety of society. So for example, if you were to sell your house, someone with highly sensitive allergies to a particular product won't have reactions because of something you did. Now, a couple of caveats. This graph shows the average persistence of a lot of products that we use, but the actual persistence may be slightly longer or shorter based on the sun's UV contact with a product and the kind of product. Each product is a little different. Some may have a persistence, for example, of 2 months and others 4. But this graph just helps you understand the basic concept of persistence and how products break down over time. Now, as far as efficacy goes, you need to think about the target pest and your level of tolerance. So, if you choose a semi-annual service plan, you will have long periods of time with no control of the target pest. For example, if you apply in April and August, about 3 months after each application, the products are going to have broken down. And so in July and November, as well as March and probably the first part of April, you will have very little, if any, control. And that is when many bugs are reproducing and laying eggs. So if you have a cricket infestation, a pest notorious for carrying diseases, in July, when those pest populations are growing, there is no control. This would also be true for spiders, mice, ants, cockroaches, and a host of other pests. Because of this, at Penguin, we have discovered that a semi-annual treatment is usually ineffective for most pests and for most people. The length of time with no control is just too long, which causes the treatment to be ineffective at controlling pests. Plus, most people who come to us, Penguin, the most successful and effective pest control provider on the Western Slope, those kinds of people, our clients, they want at least moderately decent levels of pest control. That is why they are calling a pest control professional. They want good pest control. Otherwise, they would probably just do it on their own. Now, if you choose a quarterly service, again, you can see in this graph the fluctuation of the product's effectiveness over the entire year. Now, let's say you apply in January, April, July, and October. In February, May, and August, product effectiveness will be about 50%. And in March, June, and September, the products will be about 5 to 10% effective. But since we are reapplying on a regular basis, the levels of control will never hit zero and will not remain low for very long. Now, the benefit to a quarterly plan is that such a plan is a bit more economical and still offers decent levels of control. Now, the most effective kind of pest control would be a monthly plan. By applying once every month, control levels are always above 80% and therefore offer tremendous levels of control. Now, this kind of treatment plan works well on pest populations that are already very high or in areas prone to a certain kind of pest. Also, there are some kinds of pests that are more resilient and need a monthly service. Cockroaches, ants, mice, flies, and some infestations of spiders, to name a few. The disadvantage to this plan is that it's a bit more expensive than a quarterly plan. However, what we do for you at Penguin is we discount each service for our customers who need or want a monthly service. So on an annual basis, while a monthly plan is a bit more expensive, the cost is certainly nowhere near exorbitant. Now, hopefully this helped. I hope you discovered beneficial ideas. Penguin Pest Control, here to help, so you can relax with no bugs.